Hi everyone, I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to talk about fake tanning this week, seeing as we talked about the importance of checking our moles last week. Obviously fake tanning is a great way of looking bronzed and golden without having any sun exposure. For me, I'm quite a lazy tanner, I have to say. I will tan the parts that show, so I don't look that great naked, colour-wise. Anyway, for my complexion, neck and chest, I will always use my James Reed spray. Spray it on, unifies everything, smells of rose, job done for me. Used it for years, love him, amazing brand. Body, I will tend to go for a Saint-Tropez or a Zen tan with a mitt. Always mitts now, too many years of yellow cuticles and stained hands, nah. But that's it, I'm not a huge tanner, I just try and go with the seasons. But I want to introduce you to a very special lady who has a new brand coming out. Now, this lady is called Amanda Harrington and she is an artist as well as a very successful professional fake tanner. Amanda's story is that she studied fine art and very sadly her father passed away with cancer. And she wanted to do something that would help people learn about the effects of overexposure of the sun and skin cancer, and that ended up being fake tan. So she's been working in London for over a decade, and like most of my artist friends, we struggle with having one brand that just works for everything. We always have a bit of this and a bit of that, and if only I could mix this with this, which means and why there are so many artist-related brands. So Amanda is launching her own fake tan brand with brushes. I have never ever put fake tan on with a brush, never. But the beautiful thing is, because she's got such an artistic eye, especially in the body form, she's very aware of all the beautiful contours of the body, she can use depth and light to enhance a six-pack, elongate a leg, or amplify bone structure in your face. So it's really clever, and I really wanted to share you with this. A girlfriend of mine told me about Amanda, like she works with, you know, A-lister actresses, the Delavines, Sienna Miller. Her list is extensive. So because Amanda has now curated her own tan, we can hopefully get a little bit of that expertise and polish when we do our own fake tan. I have never ever had a professional fake tan done, not a spray one, nothing. It's always been DIY at home for me, which is fine. So I'm really curious as to what's going to happen. So I'll give you a great before and after, and I'm going to introduce you now to Amanda, and we're going to go through her brand and her story. And here is the lovely Amanda. Right, hello. Talk me through your brand.
Hi. So my brand is a new way for you at home to tan the way I've done it for years.
And how have you done it?
Well, I've done it with sort of bespoke mixing my own tints. Because I couldn't ever find the right colour that I wanted to use on my clients.
When you say tints, are they fake tan tints?
They're fake tan tints, right. Exactly. So, and also using my very special brushes, which I had to have handmade because they weren't big enough. Makeup brushes weren't big enough, and I was sort of body painting with all sorts of big body brushes. So I just had my own made.
Great.
And so it's essentially sculpting the body and creating shape to the body. You're an
artist.
Because I'm a body painter and and an artist. So that was the way that I always wanted to see the body come alive, shape it, define it, sculpt
Talk me through
it.
that, because you were explaining a wonderful scenario of an actress that you're working with that had a slight dress that went across her top here. What do you call that shape of dress?
Yeah, so a Bardot. I think it's a Bardot. A Bardot or a strapless.
I'm sure you'll
stylist.
Let us know. Go with strapless.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Exactly, strapless dress. And she had slightly curved shoulders. And no one wanted to say anything. But I said, oh, no, don't worry. We'll sharpen it all up. And the only way to sharpen it up, because we didn't have time for her to go and sort of reform in the gym or give her some surgery, was to shade her with tan.
That's brilliant.
and create sort of, you know, you can create a shade with, and we call it the top line, and create that coat hanger shoulder so it's sharper. And so if you shade from here, from the back of the ears all the way down, give yourself a little bit of an Italian shoulder, your shoulders go up and it's sharper. And then you follow the shadow down and it will elongate you.
And that would give her so much confidence.
Oh, completely.
Because I think this area of our body, you do end up feeling a bit,
Well,
it goes a bit soft unless you're in the gym the whole
absolutely.
time, doesn't it?
Well, A, it goes soft, but naturally, if you're self-conscious, I see this all the time when I'm with clients and I haven't seen them before, for instance. They don't know me, I don't know them, they're naked. And I come in and their body, I mean, hi, do you mind stripping? We're going to start.
Poor things.
I know. And it happens with men, it happens with, you know, everyone, just sort of, you know, all these wonderful women I'm with. And they're naturally like that. They're naturally closed because you are feeling self-conscious.
Yeah.
One lick of paint, as I call it, tan, tints, creams, whatever you put on, the minute you're touching them, suddenly this peacock effect comes into the room. And by the time we finish the tan, they may be walking up the street and the neighbours are watching. Who cares? Because they're feeling so confident.
Funny, isn't it?
The body
It's
confidence
so
is insane,
yeah.
and it's infected within an hour. That's what I like doing.
Great. So, how do you do it?
Right. The method. It's called the Amanda Harrington 3-step method. And it's treat it as you would your makeup or your body care, okay? So you wouldn't put your makeup on without either, I'm hoping you don't, either without having moisturiser on or a primer.
Shall I whip my top off?
Yes.
And then you can do your thing and I'll
Always.
sit here and be quiet.
100%. Okay, so we have the 3-step process. Step 1 is your prep. Now, this is a dual product, okay? So this is not only preparing your skin for the colour, but it's hydrating, it's got collagen in it, CQ10. It's also a low-level gradual tan.
Okay.
All right, so if you use this every other day, for instance, you're going to have a beautiful glow throughout
and it will
the
extend
year.
the tan
And
that
it
you'd have done.
extends the
Yeah.
tan that you would have done. Exactly. All right, so 3 pumps all over the face.
That feels really soft.
Good. And
It
I
doesn't-
go
it doesn't
down into the
smell.
neck. No, it doesn't smell. None of this will smell. That's the other thing. What we've done is everything's in a dark packaging because actually that will stop tan smelling, that sort of soggy biscuit
Oh, is that
smell.
right?
Yeah,
The light.
because of the light, exactly. So very simple, all over the face and neck. You can go as low as you like, depends on whether you're wearing a t-shirt or not, for instance, but I like to go sort of quite far down, obviously. And then it will come, your little pack will come with some gloves. Now, you just pop these on really quickly.
Oh, so you don't buy them individually?
No, they come
Right.
they come with the pack.
Because you want everyone to do it in this 3-step way, not to buy products individually.
They are sold individually, so obviously you can, if you run out of one,
Right.
you can, you can buy it singularly.
Okay.
But to start, it comes in a set. Okay. So step 2 is your colour mist. Now these are your illuminating bronzing mists. These are your tans. Okay, and they come in 3 colours, and I've done them sort of in undertones. So if you're the palest of the pale, if you're sort of an Irish blue, for instance, you're going to be natural rose. If you're Korean, you're going to be a natural rose. Or if you're particularly pale for that time of year, so if it's deep dark winter, for instance, and the light outside is quite bleak and you don't want a glaringly obvious colour.
I think you've got a cool tone. The orange tones really pick up, so it makes your skin look much orangey.
Exactly. So this is quite a cool ashy tone. It's so beautiful, and it, you know, if you're in that really stark light, it looks stunning, and you just look really well, and it gives the eyes, it makes the eyes pop. Okay. Then we've got honey, which I'm using on Caroline today, which is
And you've got that on as well,
I've got
right?
this on
It's
too.
very soft.
Very, very soft. I only did one layer for you today. I mean, we could go mad, but you know, for the summer, you can layer up slightly more. But we're only in spring. So we've got honey, which is like that Californian sort of warm golden glow. Then I've got olive, which is for sallow skins, yellow skins, Italian skin, UAE, or sort of, you know, that sort of green veined skin. Do you know what I mean? Which needs to be, you know, needs some life in it.
Because even if you've got a lot of melanin in your skin,
yeah,
and you appear to me to look kind of quite warm toned.
Yes.
A lot of my clients will just say, no, I just look very pale and very ashy.
Yes.
And that will boost that.
That
right?
will boost that, exactly. And listen, you may be a rose in winter, but then move up to a honey. Okay, so that's, you know, just play with it slightly. So it's very simple. You just put a tiny top of mist.
Oh, straight on the brush.
Straight on the brush. And then straight on the face. Okay?
Oh, that feels really decadent. That
All
just
the
doesn't even feel
way.
particularly wet.
No. And you can just keep adding a tiny bit.
Am I brown?
Yeah, you are actually. You're looking lovely. But it's super easy. All the way around, down onto the neck. The neck, sometimes,
That would be so natural for me to...
a bit like
tan like
Caroline.
that.
Yeah. Can you see? Here we go. Listen. I'm literally doing slight tints on here, buffing onto my hand.
Oh, right, buff on the hand.
Buff on the hand. It just takes that tiny bit off. And then you can colour up the neck.
And do you do the whole body? If you're doing a full body tan, would you do it with all the brushes? You only use brushes?
I only use brushes. I use, for the body it's slightly different because the mousses that we use, I only use mousse for the body. It's like a souffle, it's super soft. So you can blend it in with your hands. And then you can just smooth out and buff. Oops. Just got to take that off your
You're spraying my desk.
I know. I'll spray anything. Can you see?
Yes. I see that the redness is disappearing.
Yes.
I'm becoming more uniform.
Well, it's funny because actually, which is really common, your neck is slightly paler than the face. So what you can do is even out
Yes, that's great.
your undertones with the colour over it. It's like a veil. I'll start playing with your collarbones a bit.
It's actually a nice tip because it is so instantaneous if you're wearing a white shirt
Yes.
and you've got a white neck. So you could
And
do
you
that.
can literally just colour it in. And it's set super
And then it
quickly
won't stain the
because
white
you're
shirt.
blending with a brush. It's not up to your skin to absorb it. It's going in.
Okay.
Okay? So it dries and it absorbs really, really quickly. I've put an all over base of mist on Caroline. Now, she looks super well, but you can actually do another layer if you want to colour down ever so slightly. But I'm going to teach you how to contour. Now, the contouring word sounds quite scary sometimes for a lot of people. It's obviously not using multiple foundations, so it's just treat it as you would your bronzer, which is what hopefully, you know, a lot of people just add a little bit of life to their face with a bronzer. So this is the same. You're using a brush, but it's semi-permanent. Okay, that's the only difference, and you can make shape. So add a small bit. Oh, bugger, here
Have
we
you
go.
used a different brush on this then?
No,
The
same brush.
Same brush.
Same
okay.
brush, but it's the layering technique.
Right, okay.
Okay. So you've got, think about it. You've got your foundation on, and now we're just going to add some shape. Okay. So you just put a tiny bit on the brush, start on a cheek, and brush up towards the hairline. If you stipple like this, love a stipple, you can just, I mean, there's no streaks because I'm blending all the time. So on the cheekbone, I'd always mostly go back and then go into the temple. So anywhere the sun would naturally hit,
Do you have to be careful if you've got blonde hair?
You can go in, look,
Yeah.
go right in. And then you go over to the other temple, add a bit there. And then down onto the other cheek. Liza Minnelli calls it a Nike tick.
Yes.
So, exactly. So you start underneath here. It's like a, and
My
it's,
branded cheeks.
yes, exactly. So if in doubt, just keep blending.
Kind of quite
Can
nice.
you see
anyway.
the difference in your shape?
Yes, that's lovely. Yeah. It just highlights the orbital zone. As well.
Exactly. And then you can just brush over the nose ever so slightly, and then...
So would you get the makeup artist to then do the makeup over the top of this
Yes.
if you're doing a job?
Yes. Or if you're going out to work, I just put some concealer on, or a very light BB cream, and just do my squares, as we call them. And come down the neck.
Yeah, it's a nice colour.
Down here. If you've got a t-shirt on and you want to bring out your collarbone slightly, just go here on the top line, as I call it, there. Give yourself a little bit of a shoulder. Italiano. There we go. Like that. That's beautiful. That's bringing that out. You look much sharper already. And then here. So it's just tiny, just watch what I'm doing. It's tiny bits on this and then blending it through. Swirls, whatever you want, stipples, just play with it. But it will all blend itself out and you will not get streaks. And as I said to you, if you get confused and you go, oh no, I've put too much on, you have to just blend it out.
Wonderful.
I mean, it's that simple. I could carry on. But you look super well. You can just keep going.
Would you use smaller brushes to do more detailed work, or would you keep it as soft and as fluid as it looks now?
If you're starting out, which you all are, because this is a new technique, I just start with your facelifter brush, which has got that shape already, so it's very easy.
So I just think it's so lovely because it's natural for many of you to put makeup on with a brush,
Yeah.
or beauty blender, whatever. So that motion of putting the fake tan on is very natural to you, whereas sometimes when you're struggling with a mitt, which is like 2 sizes as big as your hand, or your own hands, but you're doing it quickly with a glove, but you haven't got the feel and pressure against your skin as you normally would have, then this just feels very natural. So
Well, you'll do exactly.
Yeah.
So you already know how to do it, but you don't know how to do it with tan, and it's just a different medium.
so this will dry.
But
Would
this
it be
will dry.
touch dry sort of in sort of 10 minutes, or when would
Well,
you get dressed?
how do you feel now?
Well, dry.
Yeah,
Immediately then.
immediately. Pretty
Okay.
much
The
immediately.
primers made my skin feel sort of quite hydrated,
Exactly.
and so that feels nice.
So this is the feedback that this is what I wanted to share with you, is that tan on its own, on a dry skin, so if you go for a spray tan or if you do tan at home, you are told to put a mousse or a cream on, not a cream, just a mousse or a spray on dry skin. So it attaches itself to dry skin.
Yeah.
Therefore it patches. That's when you get patching, after 2 days, 3 days.
So how do you, Amanda, not get brown knees and brown elbows?
Ta-da! I have something for you. I have something called Ultra Balm, which is something I made, and it's for those really dry extremities, and it's a universal barrier cream. It's like shea butter, almond butter, all of the beautiful butters that sort of soften and protect the dry bits, that actually they're dry on everyone essentially, and therefore nothing's going to cling to those points.
Great, so it's like a barrier.
Especially with a brush, because you're going to blend over it.
Lighter.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
will I go darker in the next few hours, or will I stay like this?
You'll go a little bit darker.
Okay, so I'll refilm in a couple of hours and I'll show you the complete ensemble. Well, not the complete ensemble, I'll just show you with my top on. So here we are. This is the final look. I have to say I'm thrilled to bits. The tan does not feel claustrophobic or sticky. I put my clothes on pretty much 10 minutes after Amanda left. It's very, very natural, and please share with me who loves brown hands. I love brown hands, and I just feel so put together. I don't have any other makeup on apart from the tan, and I just love the way that I still have the lightness around my eyes naturally, and that my skin just looks such better quality. But that's what a tan does. The main difference for Amanda is that she has the brush application, and use her brushes and you get that soft, flawless finish. And I don't have a mark or a streak on my body. It looks incredibly natural. And that rather than increasing the DHA level in a fake tan, so if you have a light, medium and a dark fake tan, they increase the level of DHA to make that particular tan darker. Whereas Amanda's tan is all done on her colour tints that she used to mix before she had the brown. So if you've got a paler, cooler complexion, there's a shade for you. If you're going for the honey colour, there's a shade for you. And then if you want to go more olivey, there's a shade for you. So it's not just about a darker colour of tan, it's all about complementary tones to complement your skin tone. And that's what I really love about this brand. So just to confirm, this is not a sponsored post. I found out about Amanda launching her brand. I was fascinated with her story. I wanted to share it with you. Obviously it resonates with me because she layers creams and mists together to get the really soft finish, the primer and the mist on the brush. I love that technique, and I think I'll be forever a brush tanner now. I'm really pleased, and she will be answering any questions you want to ask below. Have a great day.